Am I the a-hole for refusing my mother-in-law move into my home? My husband, 27 male, and I, Julie, 27 female, got married in August of 2024 and bought our first home in December of 2024. My husband moved to my state in 2023 when I was still living with my mom. My mom let him move in rent-free and didn't expect much from him because she wanted us to be able to save for our wedding and our new home. Okay. From December 23 to December 2024, we lived with my mom. In December of 2024, my husband started feeling really lonely and homesick because he had no family nearby. He begged me to let his brother, 24 male, move in with us. I was hesitant because he originally wanted to move away from family, yet now wanted his brother living with us. He also kept pressuring me to buy a house because interest rates were going up, which is why we rushed into buying. I like our home, but I do wish we hadn't rushed the process. I wanted to finally live alone with my husband. Okay. My husband would cry some nights and tell me how much he missed his family. Eventually, I gave in. Within 2 weeks of agreeing, his brother moved in. Don't get me wrong, he's a pretty chill guy and I actually enjoy his company, but nothing compares to living alone with your husband. Yeah. I like having house guests. I have the privilege of having a home where I can host my family if they do decide to visit. Happy to do that with friends. You know, if a friend is in a bind, you know, I have a place so I can help out people. But it is so, so sweet when they finally leave, isn't it? It's only supposed to be temporary. Really, nothing does compare to like just being alone with your husband. That's probably going to change eventually, but like for now, it's really nice. My brother-in-law pays the utilities and helps with groceries, around $400 to $500 a month. Okay, that was going to be my next question because like, bestie, if he's moving in and not paying for anything, I don't love that. I told my husband I wanted to help him build savings so he'd be in a good place when he moved out. Well, that's very nice of you. My husband decided his brother would only live with us for 2 years max. That's a long time. I agreed because we're not planning on having kids soon, and that was part of why I wanted our space to ourselves. A year ago, my mother-in-law wanted to move in with her husband and her mother-in-law to my house. I guess they saw that our house has a lot of rooms and thought it would be a great idea to stay with us. I put my foot down finally and said no. Just because the house has a lot of rooms, that does not mean that those rooms are just like up for grabs. My husband brings up how he tolerated living with my family for a year, so why can't I tolerate living with his? I beg your finest pardon. Tolerated. Didn't your family like help him out when he couldn't afford to like live alone? Your mom let him move in rent-free and didn't expect much from him because she wanted you to be able to save for your wedding and your new home. So I'm sorry, he tolerated living rent-free in your parents' house? That's not the same thing. I'm not loving this, bestie. The thing is, his mom has never really done anything for me. Yeah, see, it would make sense if like your mother-in-law hosted you in the same way that your mom hosted him. I don't really understand this like, oh, well, we live with your family, so now let's live with mine. It's not the same thing. I've stayed at her house maybe 4 days total. She didn't help with the wedding at all, not even flipping tortillas while my mom was running around doing everything. Our wedding was budget friendly, but beautiful. My whole family helped. Aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone pitched in and had fun. His family had to travel to my state, but they mostly sat down and left early. They sound kind of like freeloaders, I ain't gonna lie. Even his younger brother, the one that lives with us now, and his close cousin left for 3 hours during the wedding to go sightseeing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we'll just be here when you get back.
When we were dating, I brought my family twice to their state so they could meet his mom. Both times, she bailed after confirming with me the day before. The excuses were that she was working or she felt sick. When I told my husband it bothered me that she left my family hanging twice, he said he can't force his mom to meet my family, and maybe she just didn't want to. I'm not gonna lie, honey, I'm not really a fan of how your husband is conducting himself through this entire thing. And I say that with love. I'm just saying. When my husband moved to my state, I would send his mom pictures of him doing different things, thinking she might be worried about him. I sent her photos of his first car, him getting ready for his first day at his new job, and of us with our first puppy. I got nothing back. No thanks, no comment, not even a thumbs up. After 2 months, I gave up. Fast forward to September 2025. My husband, my brother-in-law, and I went to his state to visit family. We stayed at a family ranch for a few days. I finally got to socialize with his cousins and actually got along with some of them. However, his mom always complains about her ex, my husband's father. I honestly wanted to build a relationship with him, but my husband and his brother don't like him. His mom tells stories about him, but in the most awkward way, she also shows off how she tried so hard to maintain a relationship between her sons and their dad. Okay. She talks about how she worked triple shifts to buy him a car so he could take the boys on weekends, and how she packed lunches for them because he had no money and her kids would go hungry. But my husband describes those weekends as full of abuse. He did say dad would and let them go hungry. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Okay. Then his mom brags about how she never separated from him or went after child support because it wasn't the right thing to do. Okay. While I was watching TV with my new nieces, I heard my husband call for me. His mom then said,
Well, how Julie doesn't want us in her house.
I don't even know how that conversation started, but suddenly both of them were staring at me like... My husband said she was being sarcastic. No. So I said, yeah, I told my husband that if his dad keeps insisting on moving in, I'd tell you. She hates that man, so she immediately snapped and said,
What? He wants to move in with you guys?
I said, I told my husband to tell him he has a wife to take care of. It's not my fault he got remarried. He's a full-grown adult looking for refuge at his newlywed son's house. He shouldn't even ask because my answer is no. Ooh, did he actually ask? Wait, did I miss something? I feel like you're just saying that. She went on a rant about how he doesn't have a right to ask because he's never done anything. I cut her off and said, I like having my house. I like having rules and I wouldn't give it up for anything. Now, my brother-in-law's 2 years are almost up. I told my husband that since we're planning to start our master's program this year, maybe his brother could stay another 2 years until we finish. However, if his mom is planning on moving to our state, his brother would need to move out and get an apartment for both of them. My husband is worried that his mom won't stay long and will leave his brother alone in the apartment. I told him that's on his mom. She has to decide if she's actually going to commit to staying. She's constantly jumping from place to place. Now, here's where I wonder if I'm the a-hole. I told my husband his mom can only stay 1 month. He said it will take however long it takes for her to find a place. I told him that if she's moving here, she needs to plan on moving out with her youngest son. It's not my fault. She can't plan. If she leaves her son alone in that apartment because she can't commit to staying in one place, that's on her. I feel like my husband thinks I'm being unfair, but I don't owe her anything. So, am I the a-hole? I feel like you're being like really generous already as it is. I think it would be one thing if you and his mom had like a better relationship or if she's helped you out in any way, shape, or form. But it kind of just sounds like she hasn't done that like at all. People in the comments are like, I'm surprised you even said she could stay for a month. That's my thing is like a month is a long time, but also it's long enough that she's going to get comfortable. And like, I would highly doubt that she would leave. Like, I'm just saying more often than not, these situations turn into them outstaying their welcome. Once they're in, they're very hard to get rid of. Just saying. His mother probably won't leave after the month is over either. Then the husband, mother-in-law, and brother-in-law will all gang up on her about the mother-in-law staying longer. And then other people are pointing out this is a husband problem, not just a mother-in-law problem. Yeah, I hate to say it, OP, but I don't love how your husband's acting. There's something about the way that he's not putting your feelings first that I really, really don't like. She won't ever leave, and every time you bring it up, everyone will act like you are the bad guy, including your spineless husband who already lets her mistreat you without a word. Yeah, that part. You need to put your foot down. I honestly, like, you already kind of said that you were going to let her live there for a month. I wouldn't have even done that. I'm just saying it's going to be very hard to get rid of her. You are not the a-hole.